Cool. All right. So today we're going to talk about subterranes. So subterranes are like submarines, but they're different because, like marines and terrain. So submarines, they go under the water. They go sub, like in Latin. Sub abor would be under the trees. These are going subterrene, terrain. They're going under the terra, like Tartaria. And the idea is that you take a drill and you drill into the earth. So these have been around for hundreds of years, at least since Howard Hughes' parents were alive. The guy who made airplanes, his parents made all their money off drill bits that they made to make these giant drills so they could get oil, because oil's really useful and it's sticky. So they decided that they were going to take a drill and then they would put energy behind the drill and it would just go, and that sucker would go real far. Problem with that, you need a lot of energy. So the amount of energy it takes, unless you have Tesla power or nukes, you're not going very far. These days, we have both Tesla power and nukes, which is crazy. So that Elon Musk guy, he's got his boring company. It's like super exciting because they're making all kinds of drills, giant drills, biggest drills I've ever heard of. You could live inside of one of these drills, comfy with like a hot tub, maybe even like a lap pool, and like a treadmill, and you wouldn't even need to go outside. The way people live these days with video games, you'd be happy in one of those drills under the ground. You never know. But the deal with the drills also is a nuclear energy means you can put like 15,000 volts, 20,000 volts at a time. You could have a 2,000, 20,000, probably 20,000 degree head at the end of one of these things. So it's super hot, it's drilling, it's melting the rock, making glass and granite, and everything's all like solid, and it's a super smooth ride. It's like a tube, like in the Bea and John Malkovich movie where you're like it's like really good. Because the new drills, everyone's talking about the new drills. Everyone's like, cool, the future. What's the future? Future's underground, which they used to say flying cars. What do they know? It's all about underground cars. But the deal with the trains is you put a train on one of these drills and you start drilling around. You find that they've got all these tunnels to all these places where there's already been trains before, and you're like, why are there so many train drill tunnels? It's like, how is that possible that under the whole earth there's tunnels when it's like some sort of like an alien ant farm place going on here. It's crazy. So one of the groups of people that apparently have had these tunnel drills are the Soviet Union. And you've heard of them. They were good at hockey, which is already, gotta respect that. But apparently they made some of these suckers and they attached them to submarines, which is super, that's like cheating because you've got both, So they would take these submarines to California where there's a coastline, and Viktor Baranets is like a Kremlin minister from the Soviet Union who accidentally admitted on television recently, who's like, yeah, well, we have these drills that we brought to the coast of California, and we drilled 6 miles underneath the Marianas Trench into the Monterey Bay, in San Francisco to San Diego, and they installed all the way up to Portland and Seattle these nuclear warheads 6 miles underneath California in the 80s. So that's fun because at any point any one of these things could get uppity. And so, that's a lot of pressure underneath California. If the technology they had in the 80s was as good as the stuff they had at Chernobyl, or if it was better, because it hasn't gone off yet, supposedly. Or then again, there has been a lot of earthquakes in California in the last few decades. Just food for thought. Anyway, I'm Andreas, and you've been watching a little clip about subterranes. And thank you for watching a Media Benders production. MediaBenders.com.